So as a creator, we all strive to hit those monetary milestones that we all have. The major one is hitting $1 million.
Millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire.
I haven't done that. We all want to hit $1 million, but before you can hit $1 million, you got to hit 6 figures in a year, which I haven't done that either. And before you can hit 6 figures in a year, I feel like the next major milestone right below that is hitting 10,000 in a month. That is something I've done. So in this video, I just want to break down how I've been able to make 10,000 a month multiple times throughout this year and last year. And I was able to do it using a couple of different techniques that I really want to show you guys and really break down exactly what I did to do that. So let's get into these facts. All right, so for years, my company was barely hanging on, right?
Oh, take my hand. Ah!
When I first started out in 2016, I was making about $1,000 a month. This one I was doing as a side job, right? And then once I quit my job, I was making probably about $2,500, maybe $3,000 a month, which was cool. It was just enough to pay my bills, and that's it. And that's what me and my wife split, and you know, she was paying utilities, I paid mortgage and all that stuff. Right? And every year it got more and more and more. Around the pandemic, or right after that, 2020, 2021-ish, I was making roughly about $5,000 a month consistently. And I thought I was doing pretty good. And it's actually crazy because I remember back in 2012, 2013, one of my friends said her husband was making like $6,000, you know, every month. And I was like, yo, I can't wait till I get to the level of making $6,000 a month. Then I realized that's not really that much money. But once I was at 5,000, I was like, yo, I'm almost at 6,000. And 6,000 is just such a random number, but I was at 6,000. And then I feel like it was March and April of 2021. And I had my first $10,000 month. And when I had my first $10,000 month, it was because I had a couple of different things. The major thing that kind of took me over the ledge was that I had a major project with a museum in the area that paid me $5,000 to do this video project, right? I actually missed those times. Chrysler, if you want to hire me back, I'm down for it. And then in April, I had another project which was about $2,000 or $3,000. And that actually put me closer to, I was like, 8,000 or 9,000, which was still over my monthly, but it wasn't right at the 10,000. But those were my 2 highest grossing months of 2021. And so after that, I started to get the itch, right? Like I felt like I had to find a way of making 10,000 like every month. Like I felt like I needed it. I felt like a crackhead, to be honest with you. I felt like I had so much going on when I was able to make that, right? But in the back of my head, I was thinking like, I only hit that amount because of these particular big projects that came in. Outside of that, I was still pretty much stuck at my $5,000. And so this year, after having a baby, after, you know, my wife saying she wanted to take some time off from working, and so pretty much everything was on my shoulders. So I told myself like, hey, it's time to turn it up. I need to kind of hit those numbers again. And so I did. I turned it up to the max. And then I ended up making $10,000 in 3 consecutive months. And not like 8,000 or 9,000. I made 10,000 every single month. So let's stop playing around with it. Let's get into these strategies that I've used so I could have these $10,000 months. First strategy, have a niche, stay in your lane. So I talk about this a lot, especially on Instagram, but when you're a generalist, like you do pretty much everything, you can only do but so much, and you can only make but so much money because you're all over the place. First of all, when you're doing a whole bunch of different things, and I'm talking to more so the videographers at this point, but when you're doing the weddings, you're doing the baby showers, you're doing the real estate, it doesn't allow you to get into a groove with your editing, because your workflow for a wedding is completely different than your workflow for a real estate, or it's completely different from your workflow for creating a commercial. So each time you switch over from editing, you know, these different projects, you lose a little bit of momentum, because I don't know about y'all, but for me, my mindset initially has to switch over from editing a wedding to editing a interview. So the first thing I did, like I said, I found my niche. And my niche was I did weddings and I did social media content for businesses. So that is the first thing. The first thing is finding a lane. So my second thing was when I packaged up my services, right? To be honest with you, for the past couple of years, I got tired of just shooting like one video or putting out one piece of content for a company, right? And then I realized that most of my clients are just putting it out on social media. And if you put out a video on social media, if you just got one video, that might do good for a day. That might do good for a couple hours. But outside of that, it's gonna be dead by tomorrow, right? Like there's gonna be nobody checking for it. So then a light bulb hit me, like ting. To me, I was just thinking like, if one piece of content will not help my clients do anything that they really want to do, then I need to package up where they can get a dope piece of content, like your main piece of content, but then you get multiple short form pieces of content and you get some photos with that. That is a killer package that can work across the board with no matter what brand it's going to work. And boy, it did. The first month I sold 6 or 7 of those packages. And at the time I was selling them for $750. $750, it was really crackhead pricing now that I think about it. But I sold it for $750 and I was racking up. I thought I was racking up. But by packaging up my services, these are the things that I was able to do with that, right? So not only am I giving my clients more so they can make more of an impact, ultimately make more sales or build more awareness for whatever it is they're trying to do, right? But then I'm able to create brand awareness for myself because every time that they keep posting these new pieces of content, they're tagging my brand in it. They're tagging my company in it. And so more people are saying like, yo, who did all these pieces of content for you? And now the conversation has lasted a little bit longer. And so people are saying that, hey, the Rebel Society killed this campaign for this client. And the last thing is I'm just making more money. So because I was able to increase my prices from $400 or $500, simple commercial to now I'm charging between $1,500 and $2,000 for a whole campaign. So that's number 2, which is package up your services. All right. And the last thing is put your clients on retainers. So if you're not sure what a retainer is when you have a client and you say, hey, I'm gonna give you X amount of deliverables every month for this particular price. So one of the issues that a lot of freelancers, videographers, creatives face is once they finish with a project, now you have to hunt down some more clients. And I've been told myself, hey, I wasn't gonna be doing all that because that's a lot. That's a lot of continuously trying to find people to work with. But now, when you actually have retainers for your clients, you don't have to search for new clients. You can have the same client for the next 6 months to a year to 18 months. So once I was able to do that, I had at my highest, I had 8 retainer clients at one time. So I didn't really have to do so much. Like I could really focus on building up their brands, building up their content. And so with doing those 3 things, with having a niche, with creating retainers, with packaging up my services, I was able to do that and make $10,000 a month. So if you're trying to figure out how to really scale your business, start with these 3 steps because these work for me. I've seen where these things work for other creators as well. So it's a proven strategy that works. So that is it, you guys. Thank you for watching along on this episode. Definitely dropping some more episodes pretty soon. But if you like this episode, that means you're probably gonna like this one as well. So go ahead and check this one out now. I'm not sure what I'm talking about in this episode, but I'm sure that you're gonna love it as well. So go ahead and click that one and you guys have a good one.